There is this saying in English that goes like this: opportunity makes a thief. Now, I'm not sure whether it was really Francis Bacon that said this. Maybe he did, but maybe got it from somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. I want to adjust that statement. Opportunity makes a victim. And I'm going to explain what I mean with it. So I'm going to repeat the statement. Opportunity makes a victim. Now, when someone is victimized, someone else violates them. Okay? So they didn't do it to themselves. There are situations where someone makes it very easy for others to victimize them. Now, that's different. But even then, the other should not violate them. Okay? Okay, so that you understand that I'm not blaming the victim in any shape or form. What I'm just stating in this video is that we need to examine whether or not we may, unbeknownst to ourselves, maybe we're not even aware of it, but it can be that we are allowing opportunities for Satan to victimize us. It's not us victimizing us, but we may, without us being aware of it, granting opportunities to the enemy to do us harm. And that is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay. Think about this for a moment. Opportunity makes a victim. I'm going to give a parable to you now for you to understand what I'm talking about. You have a family. Mother, father, 5 children, and the husband has siblings, the wife has siblings, so there are 4 grandparents. So just a common standard family. And in this family, there is this woman. She's 19 years old, and she has a boyfriend that she plans to marry soon. And this guy is fond of children. Okay, he loves to be around children. At the same time, he does not study anything related to children. So someone asks themselves, hold on a minute, if he loves kids so much, why doesn't he choose a profession where he will invest in children? Why did he choose to study for something that's nothing to do directly with children, but he's so fond of children? And if he's so fond of children, why doesn't he marry his girlfriend immediately and start making children of his own? He is way older than her, so what's going on? If you love children so much, yet all the time you had to find a mate, okay, they shouldn't find a mate, maybe you were in bad relationships, it can happen, but come on now. It doesn't add up that you're so fond of children and you express this all the time, but you don't do anything that invests in children. That's a red flag already. Let's say in this family, things continue as usual. 5 years later, the woman marries the boyfriend. I'm going to say 5 years later, the woman and the boyfriend are married for 3 years by now. They are expecting the first child also. And now you have a teenager within that family that's misbehaving. He's often arrested by the police for being drunk, or other times he has fits of rages. So eventually the judge tells the parents he needs to go to a psychiatrist because he needs help. The judge saw that something is wrong with him. And at the psychiatrist, the teenager revealed that he was sexually molested by his brother-in-law years ago, when the brother-in-law was still dating his sister. Now, in this situation, something went completely wrong. That's obvious. But let's go back in time for a moment. You have a guy who's so fond of children, but he himself doesn't do anything to contribute to any constructive investment in children. and he was approaching his 30s already. So what's going on here? And there was another red flag. His own relatives were distant towards him. Now, I'm not saying just because his relatives are distant towards him that automatically something's wrong with him. Because you have families where people are scapegoated, and when they leave the family so that they are not victimized anymore, the family blames them. So I'm not saying just because his family was distant towards him that there was something that automatically means that there's something wrong with him. But the family that received him, so the family of that woman who was dating him, should have examined him. And realized, okay, your family can't stand you, you're approaching 30, you love kids, but you don't do anything related to children. Dude, we need to talk to you, something doesn't add up. And they should have paid attention to him. And that sibling of that woman, who was only 9 years old then, when he started to behave in a weird way, the parents should have looked at the context, thinking, okay, why is our son acting weird like this? Oh, he's been acting weird like this for a year. What happened a year ago? Oh, our eldest daughter got involved with that guy. So hold on a minute. Our eldest daughter gets involved with a guy, and suddenly our son begins to behave in a weird way. What's going on here? So what I'm saying is, in the parable I just gave on to you, there were way too many red flags, or better said, hints that something wasn't right. But because the people didn't want to be responsible for each other, they don't want to take their collective responsibility, they let a window of opportunity open for the predator to prey on one of their own. And it's now, after the damage is done, that they are looking back, think, indeed, we should have paid more attention to that. And that is how it often goes. Too often this happens in the world, and unfortunately it also happens around believers. We let windows of opportunity open to the enemy. Another example. Okay, this is, by the way, I'm not giving any marriage advice here. This is not a marriage counsel video, but just a parable I'm giving. You have a spouse. Let's say it's a he. Okay, so you're the woman, he's the man. So your husband, he's often away from home. So you think he's overworking at the job. But you don't see on his salary, on his paycheck, that he's paid more. So you think to yourself, how can you overwork all those hours, but your boss doesn't pay you? And then your husband says, well, I was saving it for our pension. So you believe him, but later you ask someone else about it and they tell you that it doesn't add up. You should be paid those extra hours. And then you're going to think, okay, either my husband is out of his mind and that's why he keeps on working and he's not being paid, or he's not overworking at all. And when you realize that the second option is possible, even though you don't want it to be possible, realize it's a possibility, check the possibility. Okay, if he's not that late at work, where is he? Is he involved in criminal activity? Or is someone extorting him to do things he doesn't want to do? Or is there another woman involved? Something is going on. You don't know what it is, so you're not going to stress yourself wondering what's going on, just realize something else is going on. So you begin to take steps to find out what's going on. You already confronted your husband about the fact that he doesn't get paid for the extra hours, and he didn't tell you what was going on. So there's something he doesn't want you to know. So then you realize, okay, what is it that his wife, isn't supposed to know? What is it he's hiding from me? Then acknowledge your husband is hiding something from you, and then try to ask suggestive questions to trigger him to reveal something. If that doesn't work, then just go into prayer, and if the Holy Spirit leads you to do this, ask other people who are around him. Just do your homework. Realize that there is a window of opportunity for violence over here. You need to close it. I'm not telling you to get a divorce and do all of that, no, but realize something is wrong. It doesn't have to be that there's another woman or anything like that, but there is something going on. Or maybe he is saving extra money because he wants to surprise you with a holiday. Maybe that's the case. It can also be something good that's going on. It doesn't have to be something wrong. But the fact there's something going on and you don't know what it is, that's a window of opportunity already. If it's a surprise he has for you, that's different. But it will come itself later. But you don't have to wait till later to find out what if it's not something good that is hiding. That is what I mean, believers. Too often we leave windows of opportunity open to the enemy. Another example, you have relatives. And there's nothing wrong with you having relatives. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to get along with your relatives. That's good. But you have relatives who don't move forward in life. They're stuck in a cycle. Year after year, they do exactly the same thing. And every time you talk about your plans, your dreams, and what you want to do, they kind of talk you down, or they discourage you, or they feel that say they're not interested in listening to you. Ask yourself, why do you keep trusting those people with your future plans? Just because they're family? So are you so underdeveloped in your thinking? I may sound very harsh here, but I'm going to say it. Are you so underdeveloped in your thinking that you can't realize that those people are not good for you? How often do they need to ignore you, gaslight you, or somehow, minimize your potential in their eyes for you to get that they're not good for you? They are people who are showing that they don't want to comply with solutions nor with good things. They just want to be relieved and at ease, and you are expected to get along with them in their relief seeking. That's what they're showing. They shouldn't be like this. It goes against God, it goes against His will, it goes against their design as a human being, it goes against reality, but that's how they are at the moment, and that's what they're showing. They're not aware they're showing it. They're not aware how disgraceful their attitude is, but that's the disgraceful attitude they have. And they've been showing it without being aware of it. You should pick up that they are disgraceful. And realize, okay, they're disgraceful, so what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to tell them anything I'm doing. I'm just going to pretend to just have nothing but a 9-to-5 job. And when they ask questions, I'll throw them off by being very fake. And that's how I both keep peace around me, as well as avoiding them being intrusive into my affairs. I'm not going to block them, cut them off, or do anything that may trigger a conflict, but I am going to act wise as a serpent to divert their negative attention away from me. That is what you ought to do. By doing that, you're shutting the window of opportunity for violence to occur. Another example. You, quote-unquote, fall in love, as they enrolled. First of all, believers shouldn't have that. Believers should operate in real, authentic love, but okay. You like this other individual. You think about having a life together. And you move in with the other individual. And a few months later, they kick you out. You're homeless. Okay. You are not in a wedlock with the other individual. Because if you're in a wedlock, they can't throw you on the streets. The police will come and they'll be in trouble. But because you're not a registered partner either, you just moved in on good faith, even though you didn't really examine the individual, and now you're in a position that they can kick you out anytime, and now they use that leverage to control you. You open the door for violence to get a hold on you. And now demons are using that other individual to hold you back, to put you under stress. Because anytime that other individual is out of his or her mind, they can kick you out. How did you end up in that situation? Because you didn't look at the bigger picture. Okay, let's say you have parents, and the only thing your parents did was working. They did nothing else but work. And your boss tolerated a lot of BS at work. You even became depressed several times. You witnessed some of it while growing up. So what should you do? You should realize, okay, my parents did nothing but work. What I'm going to do, I want to develop my talents. I want to increase my social circle. I want to have an economic and financial leverage in life. I don't want to be like my parents. So when your parents try to influence you to choose things the way they did, you may claim on them, Mom, Dad, no dishonor towards you, but the way you live, that's not correct. I'm not going to do that. I want to have a leverage in life. If your parents really mean well to you, they will reflect on themselves and realize, indeed, son or indeed, daughter, you're right. We're not the Most High. We don't know everything. And we made some bad decisions in our own lives. And those decisions also affected you. You're growing up now. We value that you think for yourself and you want better. We want you to be better than us. Get a leverage. Get an economic and financial leverage in your life so you can have options. Don't be like us, only dependent on a paycheck. But if your parents are not constructive, but are just seeking relief, they'll feel offended because you don't validate them and they'll turn on you. If that happens, lower contact and make sure you don't rely on them for anything else anymore. If you're a teenager, this may be a bit difficult, but make sure you move into your own place as soon as possible. And when you're in your own place, stop telling everything to your parents and to other relatives that may agree with your parents. Do your thing, develop your talents, get your leverage so that you can walk in it. By you seeing how your parents lived and grandparents and realize that things have to be different for you, you are shutting the door or shutting the window to violence. What happens too often? Too often, things progress in a destructive way for way too long, and it's only when the destruction manifests openly that you realize, okay, something's wrong, what's going on? But then it's way too late. When you are watchful, I'm not saying careful. Careful is when you are frightened because there's danger around. Watchful is when you are secure and from the security, you examine things around you. Believers ought to be watchful, not careful. By being watchful, you will shut down the door to violence. Yes, persecution will happen, tribulation will happen when you follow Christ. Christ made that plain, but you are able to overcome and even to bypass tribulation. You're able to bypass tribulation, that when tribulation comes, tribulation will not have any effect on you. So it can be that you're at the job and suddenly people don't like you at the job, but it doesn't affect you because besides the job, you have other source of income. So you just shift, can just quit a job anytime you want and you have other things you can do. You have a leverage. So the opportunity for demons to use your co-workers to drain you doesn't exist because you gained economic and financial leverage. And by doing that, you shut down the door to financial and economic violence from happening to you. We need to learn to shut down opportunities for violence. When we don't do this, we allow demons and also human reprobates. We allow them, not allow in the sense that we agree that we permit it, but we tolerate them and enable them to spread their filth unchallenged. Let's say you live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of fights going on, even gunfights. Are you going to carry a gun too? Are you going to learn, are you going to take self-defense courses on how to beat people up? No, because you realize that you will be using violence to get rid of violence. So either you get away from the neighborhood, or as long as you're in the neighborhood, you get a spiritual cover so that violent energies cannot attach themselves to you. And for that to work, you need to unlearn violence. That's how you shut down opportunities for an early death to occur to you. You shut down the opportunities for accidents to happen to you. Now, you're not the Most High. You're not God. I'm not teaching you to control everything. No. But you have abilities. And too often, we don't use our abilities in a constructive manner. Often, we only use our abilities when we want to flee from something. Or when we want relief. No. We ought to use all our abilities in a Christ-centered manner to glorify Him all the time in the here and now. So, are you allowing opportunities for you to be victimized or for others around you to be victimized? Agree with Christ.